Hey guys, this is Davor from Tennis House. Today, I will give you 3 tips to have a more successful forehand. Alright, if you like what I do, please take a second and subscribe and turn the notification buttons on. And if you have 3 to 4 minutes, that will be fantastic because that's going to help your forehand tremendously. So, on the forehand, the first thing you have to keep in mind is you cannot don't over squeeze the racket. You're not going to control the ball and get pace on it if you squeeze too tight. So one tip is on the forehand, take the pinky finger off, hit a couple of balls, take the pinky finger off, take the other finger off, so 2 fingers off, and you do the same thing with only 2 fingers on the racket. Now, you're going to be surprised how many balls go in with a good pace. So now after that, when you did that, you put every finger back on and make sure that the index finger is a little bit separated from the rest, because if you have a fist here, you're not feeling anything when you hit your forehand. You need to have the index finger a little bit spread. We call this the trigger finger, because when you're at point of contact, then that index finger helps you to push that racket up. That's a very crucial finger in tennis. On the serve, the same. You snap there and pay attention to that. So the grip tension, if I would say if 10 is breaking the racket, I tell my students, and 0 is dropping it, you hold that racket on 2.5. And why is that? Because you want the racket to work for you. You're not working the racket with your muscles. You want that racket to work for you. And if you lose here, you can create a lot of power. If you're stiff, you cannot control the ball and get pace on it. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, make sure that you have an early preparation. You split and turn, that you turn early and you keep your left hand on the heart. The left hand is very important. The left hand adjusts the racket angle on your turn. So some players, when they turn, have the elbow out like this. Some are here, some are like this, some are here, some are like this. It doesn't matter. But your left hand, you have that grip and the left hand gets you there. So the left hand turns the racket so that the strings point to the crowd, we call it. So if you keep your left hand longer on here, why is that important? Because if you have it longer on, you're not going to open up too early. And that's one of the biggest mistakes in recreational tennis. The ball comes and they hit like this. So you want the belly button pointing to the crowd. And then when you hit, as soon as you start to swing forward, your belly button will point in the end forward. And on the pros, they're really extreme. They finish here and the belly button points over there. So remember, you turn early and to keep the left hand on, because if you don't keep the left hand on, most players, they take the racket back and they're already open. All right? And the third very important point is that your head is still at contact. And when you look at Roger, when he hits and contacts, he stays there. His head is still. Why? Because what happens at contact if I move my head up now? Watch. Yes, the racket, the contact point was elevated. So if you were at the perfect contact point and you move your head too early, you're going to frame the ball. So there's a drill where you can put a cone on the hat, all right, or something that can fall. And then you have the pro feeding you balls and you hit and you still and stand here and try to have balance. If you're balanced on your forehand, you're going to have a better forehand. If your lower part moves too abruptly and you move your head, your contact point is going to be different. So any movement you do gonna be bad for your contact point. So keep your head still, hit the ball and stay with the ball. So if you keep those 3 tips in mind, I assure you, you're going to see a little improvement at least. And if you like what I do, please take a second, subscribe, and share the video with some friends. And I wish everybody a wonderful day, and the next video is coming tomorrow.